Ever wondered what a completely transformed home looks like in the heart of Porter Ranch? In today's Porter Ranch home tour, we're walking you through a stunning 3-bedroom pool home that's been reimagined from top to bottom through our Concierge Plus program. From a brand new kitchen and flooring to fresh paint, gorgeous new bathrooms, and more. This home is move-in ready and picture perfect. Sitting on a massive 12,751 square foot lot, it's perfect for entertaining, relaxing by the pool, or enjoying the best of living in Porter Ranch. Whether you're moving to Porter Ranch or just curious about the latest Porter Ranch property tour, you won't want to miss this Porter Ranch home for sale. All right, welcome to our newest listing here in Porter Ranch. Really excited to bring this one to you because this home has been completely transformed through our exclusive Concierge Plus program. And throughout this video, we're gonna show you exactly what we did and kind of give you an idea of what you can expect on your rate of return, that rate of investment, right? Because I always believe that if you're gonna put $1 in, you gotta have at least $2 out. So this house is absolutely stunning inside, and we're gonna show it all to you. So where exactly are we? So today we're in the city of Porter Ranch. Porter Ranch about 30 miles north of downtown Los Angeles in the northern part of the San Fernando Valley off the 118 freeway. And we're off Reseda Boulevard and San Fernando Mission. Now this is a great neighborhood, a lot of character in this neighborhood. Let's take a look here. You can see this neighborhood itself, right? You have all these beautiful homes. We're on a cul-de-sac. Now remember I was telling you that these homes were built in 1965, and this cul-de-sac was actually the street that actually hosted all of the model homes for the builder known as Republic. And you actually have a lot of these homes also north of Remodeled. They're the first homes built north of Remodeled before McCarthy, and then later on S&S. So that's why when you look at all these homes on this cul-de-sac, they all look uniquely different. And that's because at the time, back in the late 60s, they were always trying to showcase all the different floor plans that they have. All right, so come on, let's come over here. Now, before we actually take a look at the exterior of the house like we normally do, I wanted to show you this home right across the street. And the reason I wanted to show this home to you is because there's a lot of history in this home, right? Now, if you're a movie buff, a lot of times you think of Porter Ranch, you think of the movie E.T. But did you know, literally across the street from our listing, this house right here is the home that was featured 30 years ago in Tom Hanks' Apollo 13. And this was the exterior of the house that they used, that the family actually lived in. So something that you don't see every day, and a little bit of movie history right there for you. All right, let's go back and focus on our listing right here. So when you look at this, look, you got the beautifully landscaped front yard, gorgeous green grass. You have this huge driveway, perfect for parking multiple vehicles. Of course, you have your 2-car garage, and then you have the brick inlay as well. And then over to your right, you can see that you're gonna have enough room to easily park a trailer, RV, or a boat behind that gate. And we'll show that to you when we enter the backyard. Now let's go over to the front door and go inside. So once you've entered into this 3-bedroom, 1,428 square foot home, again, built in 1965. So right off the entryway, you're gonna have your step down living room. Now, if you take a look, the flooring here is luxury vinyl plank. We replaced the flooring as part of our Concierge Plus program. And a lot of times you had the old, vinyl or linoleum or tile in a lot of these 1965 houses. Obviously, that's not a very modern look and what buyers are looking for. So a lot of times the buyers actually like the luxury vinyl plank flooring because it's a lot more durable, especially if you have pets or kids. You can spill drinks on them, right? They don't stain or scratch as easily. So it's something that a lot of people typically like, what we find when it comes to buyers' interest. So this step down living room itself, we put in all of the LED recessed lighting on top. And then also in addition to that, you have your white brick fireplace as well. This is a gas fireplace with a gas starter. So something that people really like always. So take a look at the walls. Also, we freshly painted the entire interior of this home as we did the exterior of this house. and both of them really needed to be done to kind of just give it a fresh, new, modern look. All right, so that's your step down living room. As we go over this way, this takes you into your formal dining area. Now you'll see a lot of times when homes are staged, we stage all of our homes complimentary for our sellers. So again, typically, like I always say, that unless you are hosting the Last Supper, most people don't need a dining table for 8 to 12 people, right? So, you know, if you have something that basically able to have 4 to 6 people, I think it's more than enough for most people. And then of course, you know, as you take a look at this brand new spanking kitchen, I mean, absolutely brand new. Everything here is brand new. That's the custom cabinetry, the quartz countertops, right? And the stainless steel appliances. And just like the step down living room, you're gonna have that recessed lighting as well. So let's talk about this kitchen, right? Starting with this quartz countertop. And now take a look at these black veins right here. And this is great because you have such a light colored floor, it allows you to contrast in different ways. So you have a lighter brown, right, cabinetry that's darker than the flooring. And then of course, to be able to complement the countertop itself, you have the black handles. And then look, you even have the black here on your stainless steel freestanding range by Frigidaire. So you got plenty of cabinet space. And then your backsplash is going to be this white subway tile. And here we went with a larger piece. Sometimes you'll see the smaller subway tile pieces, but I actually like the larger pieces when you're able to do it. Now going straight ahead, you'll have your laundry room, and that's where you're going to have your laundry hookups. So let me know in the comments below of what you think of this kitchen. And then last but not least, you have your stainless steel sink basin overlooking into your backyard. And then on the other side of that, we'll show you in the backyard, you actually have a service counter. So you can open up the window and put whatever food and drinks right there on the service counter right there. So again, take a look at this beautiful cabinetry. I really like the design. It's not too much on the eyes, but the focal point is obviously going to be the grains, the black grains in your quartz countertop. Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group, your preferred Los Angeles real estate agent. All right, so hope you're enjoying this home tour. I know you have a choice of what you can watch on this channel on YouTube. So again, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch another one of our home tours. All right, so if you're looking to buy a home here in Southern California, look, there's a lot of things that are taking place right now, right? The market's softening, right? The market's a little different. You know, some homes have multiple offers on them, some don't. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there currently right now on the internet. And so I think you really need someone to be able to guide you, hold your hand, answer all of your questions, whether it be at 6 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night. If you ask all of my clients, I've been available throughout the years at pretty much any time. And that's why we're fortunate enough to basically have over 230 5-star reviews just on Zillow and Google alone. So that's something you can verify yourself. And that's because we take a lot of pride in being able to help our clients. It's the biggest financial decision that you're probably gonna make in your lifetime, right? When it comes to real estate, it's not like buying a pack of gum at the CVS pharmacy. So you wanna be making sure that you're making the right decision and having all your questions answered and having someone walk you through step by step to be able to kind of make sure that you know where the potholes, so to speak, are gonna be coming from, right? To kind of be able to prep you from that. And a lot of times that starts with a Zoom call. The first time we actually talk with our buyers, right? We set that up, we learn about your needs and wants, and kind of walk you through the process from beginning to end. So that way, when it comes time to look for a home, you are gonna be much more knowledgeable than the rest of the general public. Let's get back to this home tour. All right, let me show you where the bedrooms are. All 3 bedrooms are going to be on the east side of the house. So as you come in here, this is going to be your coat closet right over here. And then as you go further down into this hallway is where the bedrooms are going to start. Let's talk about schools really quick, because schools is something that always comes up when it comes to this neighborhood. And that's because the elementary school is Darby Elementary, which has been assigned to this according to a resident finder from LAUSD, which is a school district that you would be part of if you were living in this home. And your high school is going to be Granada Hills Charter High School. So both award-winning schools, Granada Hills Charter High School, as well as Darby Elementary. Your middle school is going to be Patrick Henry Middle School, which is relatively close by as well. There are 2 of your bedrooms so far. Now you have 2 bathrooms in this home. The first one's going to be the hallway bathroom. You have modern lights, right? And then you have the same quartz countertop as you do in the kitchen, as well as brand new cabinetry. So this is a brand new vanity setup right here compared to what you had before. And then in the shower enclosure, you have a shower and tub. You have the beautiful gleaming white tile in this shower enclosure. Now, one of the best parts about this bathroom, in my opinion, is this door. And you think, well, what's so important about a door? Well, this one leads to the outside, right? And so if you're having friends and family over, if you're having a birthday party or entertaining, right? You don't have to have people trudge all the way through your house to make it to the bathroom. You have access from the backyard right by the pool to come into this bathroom. So that way they're not making your floor completely wet and emptying the entire pool in your home. So over to your right here, we're going to turn around, and this is going to be your primary bedroom with an attached private bathroom. This is a pretty good size bedroom. Remember, you only have 1,400 or just over 1,400 square feet of living space, so they're not going to be absolutely huge, but you do have your mirrored closets over here, right? And there's enough room for kind of like a small sitting area, right? And then, of course, like we talked about before, you will have your attached bathroom with a private closet. So you have 2 closets in this basically primary suite. And so you have one here in this private bathroom and the other one outside, which we showed you before. And then, of course, you have your shower enclosure. And take a look again at that beautiful white tile. And then the vanity itself, going back to a quartz countertop that has a ton of character in it, right? I really do love the black on the white because it just allows you to do so many different things with cabinetry, flooring, backsplash, mirrors, lighting. It just gives you so many different options, in my opinion. All right, let's go outside to the backyard. All right, so in the backyard, you're gonna have a large pool in this backyard. Easily could be swimming some serious laps, getting some great cardio, but just a great way to cool off during those hot summer days. So especially here in the San Fernando Valley, people really enjoy having a large pool to be able to relax, unwind, and be able to protect themselves from the severe heat when it is quite hot here in the San Fernando Valley. So something that I know that a lot of our buyers are a lot of times asking for is to have a pool. So if that's something that you want, this home is going to check that box right off. All right, now let's take a look over to your right. Now over here, you have the opportunity to really kind of do what you want with it. You know, we always talk about having a blank canvas. Well, this is it. If it was me, you know, maybe you put in some artificial grass, you can put in a garden, right? You can put in some just regular grass, right? And if you didn't want to do anything, you could maybe do a combination of mulch or moon rock. It's something that you could be able to do. All right, so I want to show you guys this because I've sold a lot of homes on this block and on this side of the street. And so a lot of times people will come and they will actually come to me and say, hey, Scott, what is all this going on over here, right? So over here on the other side of the fence, it's actually an easement owned by the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. So it's not something that you have to worry about maintaining, brush clearance. They actually do that every year around May and June. And in addition to it, you'll never have a neighbor here. This has been here for decades upon decades. So nobody's gonna be buying the land and actually building over it, right? So this is something that you don't have to have a neighbor right behind you. Now that's always something very positive. And then we'll turn around once again. Remember on the exterior, on the front of the house, I was telling you that you have enough room to put in a boat or a trailer or whatever toys you may have. And you easily have enough room right here to be able to facilitate that. So if you want your boat, your recreational vehicle, maybe you have some jet skis, maybe you just want to put a storage shed, maybe you want a little basketball hoop, right? A mini sports court. You know, the options are endless depending on what you want. Scott Himmelstein again with the Scott Himmelstein Group. So earlier in this video, I talked to you about what it takes to buy a home and kind of how we help our buyers out really holding their hands. And I'd like to do the same for our sellers as well. But for our sellers, that's a little different because right now, the homes that are selling right now are the homes that are in pristine condition. And this home was transformed, like we told you about at the very beginning, through our Concierge Plus program. So in case you're not familiar with it, this program allows our home sellers to be able to remodel or make repairs or make updates to the home at no cost up front. Everything gets billed and paid through the close of escrow. Not even a single penny right up front. So here again, we did the flooring, the painting, we did brand new kitchen, we redid the bathrooms, right? We did a lot of landscaping in front, just to name a few. And so it ends up making a world of difference because that's what buyers want to see. In addition to that, we also have our complimentary staging, right? Because how many times have you walked into a vacant house, especially, you know, if you're a seller, right? And you're kind of trying to scope out the neighborhood and see what's going on with everybody else's houses. And you walk into another home and you're just like, ugh. Right? It just doesn't really feel homey. It doesn't feel like a home that you want to live in, right? And you want to create that atmosphere where the buyers can envision themselves and their lifestyle living in your home. And that's why I always tell my sellers that, you know, from the moment that we start working together, your home is no longer your home. Basically, it is a place where now you have to be able to show really in great detail of what it looks like for the buyers to be able, like we were saying before, to envision themselves in the property. So these are some of the things that we do to help our sellers. And again, there's a reason why we're fortunate enough to have over 230 5-star reviews on Zillow and Google. So if you wanted more information about what it takes to buy a home or more information about selling your home in today's market, definitely reach out. Again, I'm Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group, and we look forward to seeing you on the next home tour.